Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our first bout of the evening. 3 1.5-minute rounds of light contact in an exhibition bout. Would you welcome first into the blue corner, representing Infinity Martial Arts, Liam Timmins. And would you welcome his opponent into the red corner, representing the Fighting Falcons, Connor Burdock. Three 1.5-minute rounds of light contact action. Timmins in the blue, Burdock in the red.
So our first fight of the evening. 3 1-minute 30-second rounds. This is an exhibition fight. This is light contact, or light continuous as some people like to call it. Fighting from the blue corner, we have Liam Timmins from the Infinity Martial Arts, and from the red corner, Connor Burdock from the Fighting Falcons.
And Brendan, obviously this being an exhibition bout, what you're really looking for here at their age is the display of the skills that we expect from kickboxing. It should be very fast, very entertaining. And I've seen young Connor Burdock before, and he is a very entertaining fighter. And Liam Timmins coming up for his first time, I think, here, isn't he? But he is an ISKA silver medalist.
That's right, yeah, let's not forget both these guys. I mean, Liam is only 10 years old, and Connor has a year advantage there at 11 years. Both competition fighters, and I know, talking to Liam earlier, he was saying about how nervous he is about stepping into the ring, because he's used to fighting obviously on the mats with a couple of referees and a much smaller audience.
Well, it is a great way to step up and start learning a trade this early. And as you can see, although it's an exhibition bout, it's full-blooded. These, as you said, these are young men, full of energy, big stage. It's bound to get a bit heavier than you expect from an exhibition bout, but as long as both boys are comfortable with it, we've got a very experienced referee in there, Nathan. He'll let that go. Yeah,
and already, I mean, despite the fact this is their first fight, their techniques are actually quite clean. And quite often when you watch light continuous, as it's also known, on the tournament circuit, it can tend to get a little bit scrappy, whereas these guys are throwing the punches and kicks, and the majority of what we've just seen has actually just landed.
Well, that's right. I mean, if they're well schooled, a lot of what they do on the mats translates perfectly to the ring environment.
I mean, for a first-time fight already, I'm definitely impressed here.
Beautiful roundhouse there.
Beautiful.
From Liam, and you could hear the response from the local crowd. And what I like is it's hands and feet together. It's so important that they start learning the trade early. And as we heard at the rules meeting, they're very conscious under TFC rules that it's genuine kickboxing, not throwing a few kicks then boxing. And these boys at their young age are perfect examples of what we're after.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I could definitely see these guys a few years down the line fighting professionally, without a doubt. These guys are absolutely superb.
Now what Connor has to watch for is that left leg that comes up so naturally from Liam on the end of every combination. The left leg shoots up on the end of the hands, and twice now it's caught Connor clean in the face. The one thing that will change as they adapt and grow older is the lateral movement. Obviously, with the mat fighting and getting your points, you tend to come in a straight line, grab your point and move back out.
Yes, yes.
Where it's more continuous in the ring, you'll start to get the movement around the ring rather than those straight lines. But at 10 and 11, a superb start.
It was an impressive round. They both paced themselves rather well, both of them.
Just doing up his helmet, and we're going to be ready for round 2 of 3.
It's Connor there, he's raring to go.
Well, at that age, they're all so fearless, and it's just a learning curve for them. And as I said, I'm all in favour of getting in the ring at this age and learning your craft early. There's that lead leg that Liam Timmins works so well. It just shoots up after the combination.
There was a I didn't quite catch, but it looked like it was either a jab or a reverse. It was very well placed there, right on the end of Liam Timmins' face. I think it shook him a little bit, but he's come straight back.
Well, that's the good thing with Connor now. As you've noticed, he's taken up the same style, left, right, and then the lead leg roundhouse, and it landed to the midsection of Liam there, which is good tactics. And again, for the first time in the fight, beautiful lateral movement from Connor. He's had a talking to in the second round. At the end of that first, come out, and there's what you'd expect, the rear leg coming through far more strongly. What Liam does that makes it faster is pop up straight off that lead leg.
Something else interesting, actually, if you watch, Connor seems to be holding the majority of the time the centre ring, while Liam's actually taking the almost defensive fighter and trying to pick him off from the outside. But Connor is landing some quite heavy blows. That's
right, he's definitely come into it more this second round. And again, there's that lateral movement that once you get in the ring can take your opponent off balance. And I feel the first round, Liam Timmins for me was definitely in control, but the second round, Connor's listened to his corner, come out and asked far more questions of Liam now. And again, nice turn and working beautifully.
He's definitely using the ring well there, old Connor.
And as I said, it makes a big difference when you lead off the front leg. There's more power, obviously, if you get the rear leg in, but it's slower. And with 1.5 minute rounds and the amount you're being thrown, get it working off that lead leg, score your points. Now, for me, we know this is an exhibition bout. There's no winner, no loser, so the pressure's off. But if I was scoring this, Brendan, I'd have that Liam definitely the first round, Connor the second. So as we come up to the third and final round, Brendan, I know you were listening to Liam's corner there, giving instructions.
They were, yes. I mean, both Ruth and Joe. Basically, I heard them just telling him to go all out in this last round. This is the final round, and I think they've just realised, like you've just said, that it's one round apiece right now. So he has to just go out there and give it everything that he's got.
And you can hear, the moment they step up the pace like that, the crowd's response is instant when they see them doing this. The other thing they will learn as they get older, though, is they are young. They are fast, they are fit, so they can keep that pace going and keep coming forward. As they get older and they mature, they'll time when to come in, when to move back out. If you've noticed, when they've got centre ring, they've stayed there and just kept working each other. That will change and adapt as they get older as well.
Oh, without a doubt. It is important to note as well, though, that the techniques they land here, despite that, are still so beautifully clean, you know.
But you get that clean technique with a bit more maturity, a bit more meat, a bit more weight, it will cause your opponent problems. That's when you suddenly get hit and that muscle's behind it, when you start thinking about that backward step, that sideward step. At the moment, they're both just interested in pushing forward. Great for the crowd, super fit.
Definitely an enjoyable fight for me here, Malcolm, I'm telling you now.
And occasionally you see moments of that light contact mat background where they blitz forward. And again, that'll slowly but surely work out of them with the ring craft that comes with more ring fights. Although, even in mature adults, Brendan, if you choose it right, a blitz is still effective. Any technique is effective if you use it carefully and know when to use it.
As we just saw again there, Conor Burdock just threw a technique where he spun, exposing his back again. I pointed it out, I think it was the first round, that he has done that on several occasions, and that is something that he needs to get out of the habit of doing.
And again, when you spin with your kicks, you lay yourself open to this. It's got to be sharp. You've got to know when. I mean, Benny the Jet Akida's the master of the jump spin kick, but you've got to know when to deliver it, because balance, as you said, is so important in our sport.
Do you think that there may be a Benny the Jet in the making there with any of these two guys?
Oh, I mean, with both these lads, you can't lose. I mean, if they just keep this up, the technique, as you said, is clean. They're natural kickboxers. The hands and feet come perfectly together. I wouldn't like to call that fight. Beautiful technique.
It was absolutely beautiful there at the end, how despite the clinch, Liam still landed some gorgeous body shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned, this was an exhibition bout, but these two young men have left us in no doubt whatsoever. You have seen two future champions here. Let's give it up for both these young men. Timmins and Burdock.